Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing charges of bribery, fraud and breach of trust. It all came about because of a garbled, barely audible voice recording taken from inside someone's pocket. Netanyahu doesn't like the way that Moses' newspaper, Yediot Haranot, is covering his government. Moses offered favourable news coverage in exchange for Netanyahu's support on a legislative change that would help his media empire. A quid pro quo. This recording is now a key piece of evidence in a criminal trial of Benjamin Netanyahu. It is a rollicking tale, but Netanyahu's tangle with the law could change the fate of the war in the Middle East.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report News Break. Well, today is a day of turmoil. That's right. R.I.P. John Amos, Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Rose. They say celebrity deaths come in threes. Crazy stuff. Well, what I want to talk to you guys about today is Netanyahu's war. That's right. Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is conducting a war. You all thought it was about the Hamas terrorists. You thought it was about Hezbollah launching rockets. It's not. This guy was about to stand trial. The Israeli citizens were flooding the streets, calling for his resignation and trial instantly. That's almost as if P. Diddy himself was the president and took us to war just to avoid going to jail. If they arrested Mayor Eric Adams for taking campaign contributions, what must be done to Benjamin Netanyahu legally for definitely causing the deaths of tens of thousands of Palestinians and thousands of his own citizens just to avoid trial? That's right. This war is going to go on and on and on just for Benjamin Netanyahu to avoid his corruption charges. In the meantime, he's trying to stack the Israeli Supreme Court so that they would rule in his favor and cancel the trial. He's trying to change laws so that he can avoid this trial. This guy, as soon as the last bullet is shot, as soon as the last missile is dropped, this guy is going to stand trial. I'm not saying that because that's what I want one way or the other. I don't believe a word that comes out of this guy's mouth, but his own people are going to put him on trial as soon as the war is over. So how long do you think this thing is going to go on? Israel's never fought a war for a whole year. This war has gone on almost 1 year, just so Netanyahu can stay a free man. When you have a cat backed into a corner, that's when he's most dangerous. This guy is willing to blow up the whole world just to not sit in a jail cell. Hey, don't believe me, do your own research. And I'm telling you, what you will find will make you very upset because there's been so many lives lost, so many people affected, geopolitical wrangling and geopolitical mess around the world, all because this guy does not want to sit in a cell. Despicable. Let's get into some clips.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a major political scandal involving Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's get into the details. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is currently embroiled in serious corruption charges. These allegations center around the purchase of military submarines and missile-capable naval vessels. The controversy has been heating up since last Monday when Israel's anti-corruption agency issued a formal warning to Netanyahu. The alleged corrupt transactions took place between 2009 and 2016 during Netanyahu's tenure as prime minister. According to the anti-corruption agency, a thorough review of procurement documents has revealed irregularities in these purchases. The agency claims that Netanyahu not only approved these deals but also misused his power and position. This misuse of authority has reportedly jeopardized Israel's national security and harmed the country's diplomatic and economic interests. However, Netanyahu has not remained silent in the face of these accusations. On the same Monday, his office issued a strong rebuttal, stating that the submarines and naval vessels were acquired to protect Israel from threats posed by Iran. He asserted that history would vindicate his decisions, showing they were made in Israel's best interest. Israel's anti-corruption agency, established in 1970, has pledged to soon release all relevant information to the public. This is not the first time Netanyahu has faced corruption allegations. He currently has 3 other cases pending in Israeli courts. Many critics also link Netanyahu's policies to the dire situation in Gaza. On October 7th last year, Hamas, a Palestinian militant group, launched an unprecedented surprise attack on Israel, killing 1,400 people. Israel's defense system was momentarily overwhelmed, leading to a massive retaliatory strike on Gaza. Over the past 8 months, these strikes have resulted in the deaths of more than 37,000 Palestinians, mostly civilians, including women and children. The situation is developing, and we will continue to monitor and report on any updates. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay informed about this and other major news stories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.
The trial of Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's get started. I don't know if many of you know this, but Benjamin Netanyahu is under indictment in Israel. And this indictment has gone back for many years. He's not the only one caught up in it. His wife is caught up in it as well. Netanyahu is charged with serious corruption, including enabling Hamas through cash payments that were being received through Qatar. Additionally, he's being charged with bribery, taking luxury gifts in exchange for political favors. And finally, as a result of this, he has tried to dismantle the judiciary of Israel by taking away powers to check the legislative branch in the Knesset. So Benji Milosevic or Netani or whatever he was before he went to Israel is currently under indictment, and his trial will continue after this war. So I wonder, maybe it's a good idea that he keeps the war going on, huh? I mean, think about it. People in the country do not want to speak bad about their own country, especially at a time of war. Netanyahu has had relationship with Hamas leadership for a long time, and this has been exposed. It's a bit convenient, isn't it? Additionally, you have to look at the fact that his wife was also under indictment. His sons have fled the country, and right now his daughter is accused of working with ISIS to get reduced oil prices for Israel in the ISIS-controlled oil fields back when there was an ISIS. And I know that they're still out there. I know that there are Islamist groups out there looking for the Islamic State that ISIS did, but what I meant by that is that they're no longer the threat that they were at the time. So Netanyahu's wanted for corruption, he's wanted for bribery, he's wanted for fraud. His wife is also under indictment for the same things. He also has been exposed of having communications in order to prop Hamas so that there would be less of a chance of a two-state solution. He's been accused of, and actually it's been proven, that he's been funneling money to Hamas from Qatar, at the same time while trying to strip the judiciary so that he does not get prosecuted for the crimes that he continues to commit. And he's got to keep the war going on so that him and his family don't go to jail. His sons fled the country. His daughter was making contracts with ISIS. So when you look at these things, it helps put a different perspective on what's going on when you're dealing with the war between Benjamin Netanyahu's right-wing government and the terror organization that he's complicit with.
It's been coming for months, and now it's confirmed. Sarah Netanyahu indicted for fraud. The case against her, misuse of state funds connected to her husband's position as Israel's prime minister. The investigation started 3 years ago when a government official issued a report on excessive spending at the couple's official residence in West Jerusalem. She's charged with using nearly $100,000 from the official Prime Minister's residence budget for private chefs and food for family events, allegedly conspiring with an official to hide the fact that a residence chef was already being employed and falsifying 15 invoices for the services of outside caterers. All very different from the Prime Minister's initial rebuttal of the allegations when he spoke of takeaway dinners in foil trays.
The fact that she is indicted, this is a sign that the judicial system and the police and the people of Israel are not willing to accept such a criminal behavior. And this is a bad sign for Netanyahu because they will start with his wife and will finish with him.
The Israeli Prime Minister understands all too well the position his wife has been in. In February, Israeli police recommended that he be indicted over 2 corruption cases.
I will continue to lead Israel responsibly and faithfully as long as you, the citizens of Israel, choose me to lead you. I am certain that the truth will be revealed, and I am certain that at the next elections, which will be held on schedule, I will earn your trust again.
The first involves lavish gifts of cigars and champagne offered to, and according to leaks, often requested by the Prime Minister and his wife, given by billionaire friends, Israeli-born Hollywood mogul Arnon Milchan and Australian tycoon James Packer. In the second case, Netanyahu is accused of trying to get favourable coverage in the country's second biggest newspaper by offering to hamper the activities of its main competitor. Another case, still under investigation, concerns allegations the owner of Israel's biggest telecoms company awarded Netanyahu favourable coverage in his news agency in return for the Prime Minister supporting beneficial regulations. So far, Benjamin Netanyahu has managed to ride out the political fallout from the police recommendation that he be indicted. But now that his wife has been charged, the scrutiny, the pressure stemming from these long-standing corruption allegations is sure to mount again. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.
Prime Minister designate of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, recently gave interviews to international journalists. He did not speak with real Israeli journalists. This is not coincidence. It is much easier for him to lie and present false narrative to foreign media, sparing himself severe international criticism for his actions. My name is Orly Barlev, and I'm an independent journalist covering governmental corruption, including Netanyahu's criminal trial. In his NBC interview, Netanyahu falsely claimed to be the defender of democracy, all while pursuing steps to crush both the Supreme Court and Israeli democracy itself. Beware, Netanyahu is constantly caught in lies. Even his senior coalition partner calls him liar, son of a liar. He is currently on trial on multiple counts of fraud, bribery, and breach of trust. As unfathomable as it may seem, Netanyahu is attempting to pass laws that will halt or even cancel his trial entirely. Responsible politicians have refused to form a government with an indicted defendant. Those who agree to join him are ultra-extremists or those with a sordid criminal history themselves. Netanyahu is shackled to his extremist partners, easily extorted. He needs their support to change the laws and evade his own trial. In return, they will receive more power and authority than they could ever imagine, including authority over security issues. They plan on crushing the justice system by removing all judiciary oversight, eliminating human rights protections, appointing loyalist judges, removing all checks and balances, ending democracy in Israel. The mainstream media in Israel is filled with fake news propaganda, whitewashing Netanyahu's actions. International journalists who want to tell the real story about Israel must seek out the few remaining reliable journalists, study the details, and realize that Israel is in immediate serious danger of losing its democracy.